me. So it's something I still work on. I'm definitely much better than I used to be, but it's something that I work on still to this day.
Yeah, well, it's probably something that, well, you, like you say, you have to work on that, and you have to have somebody that you're with that can trust and understand.
Yes.
You know. And then, when did you decide to write a book on this?
Yes.
Your whole life?
Yes.
When did you decide to do this?
It's always been in me because I felt like I was stifled by silence for so long and I couldn't speak. I mean, and my family still, they do not speak. And I just wanted to be a voice somehow, but I didn't know how. Mm-hmm. And as a child and as a teenager, I wrote poetry to deal with everything, the divorce, the abuse, the rape. And I just thought, I need to write a book. But I was so afraid because my dad, his degree is in social work. We come from a small town. Everybody knows us. Everybody's going to judge us. Everybody's going to judge me. Mm-hmm. And I just never wrote. And then in 2005, I was visiting my family, and it was chaos as usual. Every time I go visit, it's chaos. And I was in a car accident that was sort of jolting, and I realized that, you know, life is too short, and I needed to do something about my life and my voice. Mm-hmm. And it was time to break the silence. And so I came back home to California, and I just started writing my story.
And the book is Rose-Colored Glasses. I'll put this up to the camera. How long did it take you to write this?
Actually, when I first started writing the book, I wrote very fast. Mm-hmm. It was quite phenomenal, actually. Probably the total writing time was maybe 6 to 8 months.
Wow.
But then procrastination set in. Mm-hmm. So this book actually didn't get finished until 2000, about 2 or 3 years later.
Oh, so it took you...
After the fear, you know, subsided, after I kept going back and forth, rewriting, what do I want to tell? Do I want to say this? What will people think of me? Will my dad get mad? Will my mom get mad? It was a constant battle for 3 years.
Yeah. Now today, you talk to your mother and you talk to your father.
Yes, I do.
What do you feel about your mom?
I love my mother very much.
You do?
Yes. In writing this book, and she's read some of the chapters, and at first she was very upset about me doing this, and she read some of the chapters, and I remember one day she said that she was reading it, and she said, you know, it just brought everything back to me, and it makes it real, what we went through. And
I know.
I didn't know I was going to do this.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's hard, I know.
Yeah. She just said, I just didn't realize how it affected you guys. I was the battered wife, the battered mother, and I didn't realize that it affected you guys this way. And
so she was part of the victim too. That probably
she definitely was. And the thing was, my mother used to sleep with other men sometimes, and while my parents were married, and I knew about this, and I blamed her all the time, and I couldn't understand why she did that, what she did to the family. And later, when she read this book, or read some of the book, and I started asking her questions, and she said, you know, I know that you're upset by what happened, but my reality was that I just wanted somebody to love me.
I can understand that, yeah.
And I could understand that too. Mm-hmm. And it changed everything, because I had this anger toward my mother. My mother, out of all the kids, singled me out to call names, and she was even physically abusive a couple times with me, and just awful. And for me to be able to talk with her and have that honesty in a rare moment, because my mother doesn't like to deal with honesty, mm-hmm. I could understand for the first time. And it changed everything for me.
So you have a closeness with her now?
I have a closeness with her. We talk all the time. We don't talk about the real, what I call the real issues that mm-hmm. much, because she's not able to deal with them still. Yeah. She often will do her little I call her little dance where she will start talking about everything else but
She doesn't want to face it.
what you're talking about. And
Yeah.
the reason why the book is called Rose-Colored Glasses is because of my mother, because everything was rosy. No matter what was going on, she found a way to paint it another color, and it was almost like everything was okay. So to be able to talk with her later and get the answer and look at her as a human being was my first step to forgiving her, into moving forward and having a relationship with her that was not filled with anger and bitterness and
So that's a
sadness.
positive thing. Now, I know you've probably been asked this question many times, because I don't understand how you could forgive your father. I mean, if it happened to me, I'd probably hate the son of a bitch, to tell you the truth. How do you forgive a man who's beat you, who has, you know, sexually abused you and your sisters? How do you forgive a man like this?
Well, for me, it came down to life or death, because I was killing myself with alcohol and anger, and there was just so much that I was carrying that I had to choose something, and it was either life or death. I couldn't imagine living with all this anger anymore. And when I was 22 years old, I was in a car accident, self-induced car accident, where I was drunk. Nobody knew that. It was something that I kept inside. And but it was major because my car was just wrecked, and it was 3 o'clock in the morning, so nobody saw. And I remember sitting behind the steering wheel, drunk, shaken out of my mind, and thinking, something has to change. And it pointed to my father. The anger, everything that was inside of me pointed towards my father. And I thought, I have to forgive. I have to learn somehow, some way to forgive.
Does he realize what he's done?
Sometimes when he's drunk, and he'll cry. There's been a couple times he's cried and said something, but he's never admitted. In fact, he'll say, oh, your life wasn't all that bad, you know. Yeah. And so he doesn't admit it. And I think he wants to run as far away from that person that he was as possible, because everybody loves him, you know, and he wants to maintain that.
And you have forgiven him?
I have forgiven him. I love him very much, and people do look at me funny when I say that, and it's because I've had to learn how to look at him as a human being.
I don't understand it, but I give you all the credit to be able to do it. I mean, it takes a very understanding person to do that. And now you're in a good relationship with a nice man, right?
Yes.
So life is good.
Life is better.
Because you got your book. I'm going to
Yes.
show it again, Rose-Colored Glasses, and you're going to do a trailer regarding the book.
Yes, I am. My first written and produced
Great
feature.
Well, I want people to get this book because I think it's great. You know, it's a great book, and so many women and young girls have gone through what you go through, and you've pulled through. I mean, it's amazing, and you know, I have great respect for you, and I want to thank you for coming on and sharing this story, because I'm sure it was not easy.
No, I didn't think it was going
But
to be
I tried to make it as easy as possible for you.
I tried.
Well, it was good, and you know, you've handled it beautifully. You really have. And all I can say is I hope people read this book and have the understanding that you do. And I want to thank you again for coming, and thank everyone out there. And this is Jodie in Malibu. Until next time, good night, everyone.
But God bless the child that's got his